Wine School. What's up, everybody? It's Wine School 420. I have here a Marlborough, New Zealand Pinot Noir for $15. An organically farmed, native yeast fermented, French oak barrique aged New Zealand Pinot Noir in Los Angeles for $15, which is an impressive set of characteristics. I know that because they tell you a lot in the back label. This is by a producer called Cerecin. Cerecin. The actual wine itself is called Leah for some reason. This bottle tells you a lot about how they make the wine, which I like. On the back it says not only is it Marlborough, New Zealand, made with organic grapes, fermented with wild yeast, which I really hope for in all my wine, and plunged by hand daily. So they're pushing down the caps of the solids that settle to the top when it's in the fermenting tank and pushing them down to give more texture and phenolics to the finished wine before they filter that stuff out and age it in barrels. It says it's aged for 11 months in French oak barriques. Barriques are those size, they're like 225 liters. So that's, 250 plus bottles in one barrique. So just if you're doing the math, like, yes, this is a twist top, and so that's a cheap packaging. New Zealand is not the most expensive place to grow wine, but Marlborough is, there's not no competition there. Those barriques are expensive, and yes, they're French oak barriques. Maybe they're using the cheapest ones. But even still, at $15 a bottle and price, this is a value proposition, especially considering that it's organic. And one other interesting thing on the back of the label, it has an ingredients list. 3 things: certified organic grapes, tartaric acid, and sulfur dioxide to preserve. So the sulfur dioxide and the grapes, whatever. The tartaric acid is not something that people usually admit, especially not like without anybody asking, just on the back of the label. That means basically this wine was lacking a little bit of zip, and it was too thick or too ripe or too tannic, and it didn't have enough freshness, enough acid present in the harvested grapes. So they added tartaric acid to amend the finish to make it more zippy and zingy and refreshing. Now that probably means they left these grapes on the vine too long, so that they would get more fruitiness to satisfy those of you that want a very extracted, fruity Pinot Noir. But that means they missed out on the acid that would have existed if they had harvested a week earlier or whatever. So there's always trade-offs in these things, and they decided to just add something because they wanted to make this. That's why you could never call this a natural wine, I don't think, because you're not letting it be what it is. You're not letting it be an individual. Each vintage, each year, you have an idea of what you want it to be, and you're getting there by using manipulative means. Whatever. We don't have to talk about that. So the color is medium. You can still see through it, but there's like a darkness to it. It's like almost like got a brick red hue to it, and there's almost like an orange meniscus around the edge. It's heading towards like a brick red territory, which is sort of surprising for Pinot Noir. This is 4 years old, but it's not aged yet, so kind of a weird color. The smell is pretty mild. It doesn't have a lot of aroma. There's like a little cranberry, kind of dried grass. I can tell the oak, I think, is the oak that's here is translating to me as sort of like a toasty, dried grass smell rather than anything smoky or vanilla-y, which is good. There's a weird like dark sheen on this wine, almost like it reflects back blackness. Yeah, pretty mellow smell. Let's taste. Pros, there's like a light tannin, which I really need in most red wines. Just a little grippy texture, but it's light. Mild flavors. A little like almost like strawberry ripeness, like a ripe strawberry ripeness on the palate, along with that sort of cranberry. There's not a lot of like cherry vibes here, which most wine is an easy one to say, but I'm not totally catching that. Yeah, cranberry, and then all the way to something ripe. I'm glad they added tartaric acid because it's barely got enough acidity to sort of bring this all through. It's fine. I'm not mad for $15. I'm going to give this a solid meh. It is okay for what it is. It is even good for what it is. And for a lot of people, they'll be super stoked. I just find it kind of like a little bit generic. But what do you want for that price point? Good job, New Zealand. You nailed it. You did what you were trying to do, guys. I would be looking for something else. But it's a good meh. Thanks for watching. Wine School.